All right, welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. This is Futureman, Season 1, Episode 7, Pandora's Mailbox. Glad that you guys can join me, those of you who are here. I know that Movie Fanobi has a little bit of a cold, so he has to go, and he also has work tomorrow, too. So I understand. It gets in the way. I hate work. It's necessary evil, but there we go. So again, Futureman Season 1. I'm going over every single episode because we have Season 2 starting up on January 11th. It's on Hulu. You can get a free trial subscription for 30 days. Season 1 is already up in its entirety. Again, Season 2 will be up on January 11th. I believe the entire season should be up. I know they did that with Runaways, so they should be doing that with Futureman as well. So from here on out, spoilers. I'm going to be spoiling the crap out of the episode. If you haven't seen it, why haven't you seen it yet? It's actually good. Go and watch the episode. Come on back, and you can comment in the comments afterwards. So we pretty much start episode 7 where we left off after episode 6, which is after Jerry's head has exploded and they find out where they can get more Cameronium. Tiger, Wolf, and Josh have decided they're going to go into the future to 2023 to James Cameron's house and pick up some more Cameronium because he is the creator of that. But before they can do that, we have some biotics that come into the Futterman house in the middle of the night, late at night, and they go into Josh's room and they scan everything. They find Jerry's DNA, and then, of course, they find Josh's DNA everywhere because as they are looking through their little visors, they see semen, and they get it. It's everywhere, really. And they attribute it to Josh. They've got his DNA on file. So we have Josh and Wolf. They're in the future side of James Cameron's house. They're standing there and they're waiting for Tiger. And Tiger, in the meantime, has gone and taken one of those DNA tests and the little kits, and she's thrown it in the mailbox. And she comes back and they all huddle together. They activate the TTT device, which they've got only room for one trip. And they end up in the middle of James Cameron's, foyer, if you will. And at this point, they get asked by a disembodied voice who they are. And this is a AI, if you will. So it's a simulated intelligence guardian of residence and network environment, or Sigourney for short, is the name of the robot or the AI that's watching over James Cameron's house. James Cameron isn't home because he's over at Governor Clooney's mansion showing them Avatar 5. He's screening Avatar 5 for them. And by the way, it's not George Clooney, Governor George Clooney. It's Governor Amal Clooney, his wife. So who is actually the governor at this point in time in 2023. So Sigourney is wondering who they are, and Josh poses as Jax Arnold, who is Tom Arnold's son, who's supposed to be 10 years old at this point in time. And of course, Tiger and Wolf are his babysitters. Tiger finds this problematic and orders Wolf to destroy Sigourney's mainframe so that they can move about freely. And they need to go and find the Cameronium. So Wolf ends up wandering into the living room, which is also called the Temple, and it has all of James Cameron's ideas and inventions that he's made for movies and things like that are all over the wall. And Sigourney is as she's describing James Cameron, she's always calling him like the groundbreaking multi-hyphenate James Cameron, the such and such James Cameron, the blah blah James Cameron. Yes, that name Sigourney is familiar. And yes, they do work that joke to death and beyond. You're right, Slurmy. I thought it was pretty damn funny, though, that it was Sigourney. And there's a lot of jokes, a lot of James Cameron jokes in this movie. Even the music, they use a lot of, and they tweak the music just enough so they can get past the copyrights on it. but they use Titanic music, they use Aliens music, they use Terminator music. They use a lot of music from James Cameron movies, which I thought was pretty damn funny and pretty creative as well. So as they're trying to get into different rooms, Sigourney's saying access denied to the Hall of Miniatures, access denied to the trampoline fort room, access denied to the shaman's bedroom, access denied to Billy Zane's bedroom, and access denied to bathroom 14. God knows what the hell's in bathroom 14, but we know that you don't want to go in there. So Wolf, in the meantime, is talking to Sigourney, and he's trying to find, he's looking around for her mainframe at the same time, but he's also enamored by all the stuff that's around. He's like, James Cameron, he mastered one thing, but he can master other things as well. And he doesn't have to be just one thing. He's not the demolitions guy like what Tiger has set him up as, the demolitions guy. They can actually have more than one interest. And that kind of intrigues him. He's because he's kind of put that whole chef thing behind him at this point. But now he realizes that, yeah, he can be a chef as well as the demolitions guy. And as he's going through, he sees the book on Navi and starts learning Navi from Sigourney, which is actually kind of funny. And at one point, Sigourney asks him, being the babysitter of Jax, where Jax is. And he goes, who the hell is Jax? Which immediately blows his cover as being the babysitter for Tom Arnold's kid. In the meantime, Tiger and Josh go into an elevator and they see level 1, level 2, level 3, and then the abyss. And he says, well, he's not subtle. And the other thing, too, is the lighting. The lighting changes depending on where they're at in different places. And Sigourney is saying things like ominous lighting. And Tiger goes, well, that's just blue lighting. What the hell? It's just another shade of blue, which is pretty funny. If you've seen James Cameron movies, that's what it is. It's shade of blue. Yeah. Yes, Navi, the language created by the great linguist, James Cameron. Sorry, my dog is doing some weird stuff over in the corner there, so I'm just trying to figure out what she was doing. We also have Sigourney at this point. By the time Josh and Tiger are inside the elevator, she asks Josh as Jax, what's your mother's name? And he doesn't know what her name is, of course, because she always wanted us to call her mom, so she never told us what her name was. And of course, this prompts Sigourney to say, nope, wrong, it's Ashley. And she initiates the intruder protocol. And the red light comes on. And of course, Tiger has to make the remark. She goes, oh, red light. I see what that is. That means, warning. Of course, being the smartass that Tiger is. And also, she's locked Wolf down in the temple as well. And Wolf tries to blow his way out with one of those mines that he has. He attaches it to one of the walls. And Sigourney says that the best Israeli fighters have actually come up with her defense system. And she uses a mist of, I guess, Freon or something like that, and freezes up the mine, and it just cracks and breaks. And so at this point, Wolf is disappointed. He's sitting there and he's despaired, and he starts having second thoughts about, what he's doing. And he's talking to Sigourney about, how Tiger has treated him and basically just shitting on him every time. And Sigourney kind of commiserates with him at this point because she also is getting shit on by James Cameron. I guess she gets reprogrammed quite a bit as well. So it's, they're kind of commiserating over that. And as you can see in the picture that I actually put up, which is Wolf laying on top of the door from Titanic, he says, at one point, Sigourney's like, there's room for me and Sigourney on the door. She goes, no, there isn't. And he goes, yeah, there is. There's room for two people on the door. She goes, well, not according to James Cameron, that, the door can only fit one, as she put it, there's only room for one smallish woman, which is pretty damn funny because Mythbusters, of course, had broken that whole thing about two people on that door. being able to fit on that door. And you can fit 2 people on that door because it was a huge door and Rose was not that big. So she gets Wolf to finally admit why he's, who he is and why he's there, and that he's from the future and that he needs more Cameronium in order to save the future. And she's like, okay, great. And she releases all the locks. In the meantime, Tiger and Josh are having a heart-to-heart in the elevator about he's pissed off because he says, okay, is the resistance real or not? Did Jerry actually say the truth about what happened with the resistance? Or, are you really fighting bad guys at this point? And so Tiger ends up telling him that, that, hey, everyone was forced to take this drug. Otherwise, you ended up joining the resistance. And those of us in the resistance, so the biotics didn't want to fight us anymore. They just sterilized us, is what happened. So we can't have kids anymore. And she goes, that's also how my hair turned purple as well. And her story is so moving that Sigourney actually overhears it and lets them go and brings them down into the abyss, where Wolf is already waiting for them. So, of course, where is this stuff being held, the Cameronium? It's being held underwater in a pressurized cold water storage facility, and they have to dive down in order to get it. Well, of course, Tiger and Wolf don't know how to swim because it's a specialized ability that only Dolphin and Otter had. So, of course, Josh is the only one that can go in there and go and get up the Cameronium at this point. And by the way, James Cameron's coming back, and he's only 12 minutes away. And as Wolf asks, is that GPS time or is that Cameron time? And Sigourney goes, it's always Cameron time. Which I thought was good. So now he's only 11 minutes away, and Sigourney changes the lighting because James Cameron is trying to override her commands. He's trying to rewrite her again. And she goes, mood lighting is set for fucked. And Tiger looks up and says, that's literally just another blue light. And Cameronium developed by James Cameron after making history in a deep sea dive. He can do anything. Exactly, Slurmy Scott. Thank you. He does find that by making a historic deep dive and then digging down into the dirt and finding this stuff that he liked because it was shiny. It was basically glowed in the dark. So Josh goes down, he dives down deep and comes back up with the Cameronium, but he doesn't come back up breathing. He kind of just floats back up and is laying there. They pull him out of the water. They have the Cameronium, and neither one knows how to do CPR. Josh isn't breathing at this point, and Sigourney's trying to walk them through this, that they have to go rat hole to rat hole in order to give them mouth to mouth and do chest compressions. And finally, Sigourney's just so pissed off at trying to explain this that she ends up lowering a hose, but the hose doesn't reach far enough because she's actually going to do mouth to mouth to Josh. And it doesn't work, of course, because they can't bring it down to the floor. Yeah. Oh no, not rat hole to rat hole. So Tiger ends up taking one for the team and going rat hole to rat hole with Josh as as Wolf pounds on his chest. And we get him to breathe again. He goes, holy shit, was I just dead? And I'm like, yeah, you were just dead. Yeah, you were dead. And so they decide that they're going to leave, but not before one last thing. Wolf had actually promised Sigourney that he would blow up her mainframe because that's the only way she can truly be free of James Cameron and his tyranny, the tyrannic James Cameron, as she puts it. So you have to let me go, Wolf. The whole Titanic scene of you have to let me go, but I can always see you is played out by Wolf and Sigourney as he's pulling out her mainframe and destroying it, along with the Titanic music, or a bastardized version of the Titanic music, which was awesome. And of course, Wolf says that he sees her. He says it in Navi. And I love Josh goes, fuck me. Did Wolf just learn Navi? So they end up reloading the TTD with the Cameronium, and they leave. They leave and go back to 2017 because Tiger now What she is going to do is she is going to go back to the 1940s and kill Cronish as a baby. That is her new mission. She's going to leave Josh in 2017. Says, you know what, you've done enough for the Resistance at this point. We're just going to take care of it from here on out and leave it at that. So your job is done. So they leave for 2017 just as James Cameron shows up to his front door, and he tries to use his hand scanner, and of course he can't because Sigourney is offline. And that's where we leave the episode. So many good jokes in this thing about James Cameron, and tying it back to the Terminator, Titanic, Navi, of course, and what was it? As Sigourney said, there is no word for wolf in Navi, but there is a word for internet in Navi. Which is completely makes a lot of sense, as she says sarcastically. And it's a great show. I mean, if you guys aren't watching this show, go and do it. It's a 30-day free Hulu subscription. I'm not getting paid by Hulu, by the way. I just really like the show. It's one of those things that's just really damn funny and really good sci-fi. And it works in all the different sci-fi stuff. It's really well done, written, and acted as well. So go and see it. And if you like what you see here, hit the like button down below. Also hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. I am doing Deadly Class. I'm going over Counterpart. There's lots of shows that I'm going over at the moment. So take a look, see if you like anything. If you do, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get the notification of when I'm going to be online next. And other than that, I think I just have Slurmy Scott. You're just with me here, right? Yeah. So what'd you think of the episode? Well, I know what you thought of the episode. You really liked it too. So, and yes, you do have the 2001 slow death scene that was happening with Sigourney as they were pulling out the little mainframe chips and letting her slowly die away. So with that said, yeah, it is a guilt-free pleasure. And yeah, I'm glad I got you to watch it because the opening lines of episode 8 are my favorite of the series. I don't remember. I'm going to have to watch that tomorrow again and refresh my memory. So that should be a lot of fun. So again, join me. I'm going to be doing these pretty much every day until I get done with them. And then I'm going to start season 2 when it comes out on January 11th. So join us. And other than that, I will let you go for the evening. Thank you for joining me. And don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find yourself enslaved to an evil James Cameron. Good night, everybody, and have a good new year.